I brought the shorty again. I remember that, like, that was packed, dude.
What's that?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in, and in this video we'll be going over how to replace FJ80 power steering hoses. So I've had a leak coming from my power steering hoses for quite some time now, specifically the low pressure hose, and I wanted to take care of this when I replaced the steering box on the 80 series, but come to find out that it's a lot more involved in the FJ80 than it is on the FZJ80. Not to mention that it's pretty difficult to find a brand new set of power steering hoses for the FJ80 specifically. They are out there, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So I went to cruiserparts.net and was able to source a used set, and I had that rebuilt. So if anyone watching from Southern California and they need their power steering hoses rebuilt, head on down to Hoseman over in Ontario. So to remove the power steering lines, you're first going to need to remove the radiator. So start off by draining the radiator, then removing the grill by removing these 5 screws shown here. Remove the upper radiator hose. Next, you're going to want to undo the 2 upper radiator bolts, which are accessed through these cracks right next to the headlights. And then remove the fan shroud, which is secured by these 2 bolts up top. With the fan shroud out of the way, we can start removing the accessory belts. Here we undid the tension on the power steering pump, and the belt will slide right off.
It would have.
Now we know.
You do the trans cooler hose. Come into here. There's that one as well. There's that cooler hose as well. And then the 2 sides, and the radiator comes out.
Drilling a small hole through the battery tray on the passenger side will give you easier access to the lower radiator bolt. Don't forget to remove the lower radiator hose as well.
Ready to rock and roll. 10 mil right here on my finger needs to come off. Then there's this 8 mil with a flathead. And then there's this hose right here. Ta-da! All right. Now, okay, what is going to keep me from pulling your shirt up?
With the radiator out of the way, you can access the power steering lines. There'll be 3 bolts that you need to undo, 1 on each side of the frame and then 1 right in the middle. By siphoning the power steering fluid out of the reservoir, you're going to make this job a lot less messy. Now you can start removing the power steering lines. This is the high pressure side and we're using a 17mm wrench. And then on the low pressure side, you're just undoing the clamp and then removing it from the nipple. The steering box, you're going to undo the 2 17mm nuts as well. After that, you can remove the hoses and then put your new hoses in.
Lift up this hose. Now it's into position. Here. Got it under here.
And now simply reverse the process.
What's next? And get those started. At this point, let's actually tighten up that 14 then. And that way, at least it's not flopping all over the place. So tighten this 14. Just so that way you have something to push against, so you have some more resistance.
Sometimes when you're too tired, you can't take anymore.
Shimmy and shake. Come on, you're from home. You work from home, production cost.
With everything reassembled, start filling the system and burp the power steering lines. To do this, you simply turn the steering wheel lock to lock until you stop hearing the whining coming from the power steering pump. And now you're all done. So thank you for watching. If this helped you out in any way, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and as always, stay tuned.